Guys, welcome to Superflows. I am Hrushim, and in this video I'll be showing you how to develop a single page web application, an SPA app, using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. To do this, we will be taking the help of SfNav, a navigation web component uh, that makes our life very easy and is developed and provided to you by Superflows. Let's get into the code then.
Let us start by creating a directory quickly for the project that we are going to work on. Okay, now I'll open that in VS Code. It's open. Currently the directory is an empty directory, it doesn't contain anything. So I'll open its terminal and just initialize it with npm. I'll just keep the defaults for now. Okay, it is initialized. I'll quickly create a new folder, dist, where actually the project will be hosted. I'll also quickly create a Node.js HTTP server so that we can test what exactly we are doing. So for that I'll create a new file. Before that I'll install the packages that are required for the HTTP server. Done. Then I'll just add in this code to index.js. Actually this index.js file needs to be outside, so outside the disk directory, so I'll just move it. Okay, so we are set. Now when I write node index.js, the web server should run. Currently, since there is no file, it returns nothing. I'll quickly create a new file here. Text.html. Yeah, so we see that the web server is functioning. So now let's get going with our demo. So firstly, we will quickly create an HTML skeleton. For the purposes of this demo, I've already pre-created some skeletons. So I just copy paste from that, and don't worry, I'll be sharing all these scripts and all the code which I am showing in the demo with you. You will find it in the video description. So this is the skeleton that is there. I'll just paste it in index.html, save it and reload. You will see that a bare bones navigation component has loaded, which really doesn't contain anything. So this on the top is the header part, and the part below is actually the footer part. So let's go back, and so here you can see that in the code we have first added the character set, then we have added the viewport scaling information. This is very crucial, otherwise the component doesn't size properly. Then we have used the material icons which are there in the navigation, so we have imported that link here. We have also used the source sans pro font from Google Fonts. You can actually use any font, just include the font here and set it to the body's style, font family property, and you'll be done. Then the next thing that we load is the web component loader module. Then we import the lit element module. This is because the SfNav component is basically based on lit, so that is necessary. And then we import the SfNav component. So once that is done, we come to the style part, where, as I said, we'll assign some very basic styling, and we have also assigned some styling to the SfNav component. So this part essentially means that as long as the SfNav is not defined properly, just don't display it, because we don't want garbage data to be seen, right? So then we come down to the body. Here actually this writing this style is not necessary, because we have already given the margin as 0 here. So then here we include the SfNav component. So it's a web component, so you include it just like plain HTML. That's the beauty of it, right? And then you set the brand name, which is the Superflows, and then you set the brand logo, which is this image URL. And you can see that these two things are already rendered properly. Okay, so let's move ahead, and so let's make sure that we first set up routing. Routing is, by the way, automatically enabled, so we don't have to really worry about that. So you just have to add this slot for the content, and the routing will start doing its magic. Also, in some cases it will be required that the URL parameters need to be passed down to the respective components. For that, some additional JavaScript is required. So just copy this, okay, yeah. So now we are done with the routing part. I'll just save it and I'll hit refresh. Okay, so now you will see that the header and the footer is now separate, and in between that you are seeing a message that could not find home.html. So this message is coming because we haven't created this home.html file yet. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Okay. I have created the file. I have saved it and I'll hit refresh. Yeah. So now you will see that the home page is loading. So let's style it a bit. Actually, it's not looking that great, right? So let's come here. Okay, refresh. Okay, this is better, right? So now you will see that so for brand name and the brand image, the link has been given as #home, which is essentially considered as the default home page. So it is so the routing is now working because the home page is now loading. Cool. So let's move ahead now. Let's get started with the main menu. So main menu is like pretty simple. You just create an unordered list and set it in the SfNav component. So currently SfNav supports two-level menu, that is the menu and the sub-menu. So here I have created an unordered list at the slot main menu, and I have added a few menus here. Okay, so here for some menus I have added internal links. For example, anything that follows hash is an internal link. So for about, and then for services and for products we have internal links, and for all others such as for Instagram, Facebook, we have external links. Okay, so I'll save this file once again and I'll refresh, and now you'll see that the menu is starting to show. I can go here and I can see that the sub menu is also showing nicely. What I'll do is I'll open up a new tab for showing the mobile view, so it will make things much more clearer. Okay, I'll choose pixel 5. Yeah, cool. So as you will see, the menu has also rendered on the mobile view and on the desktop view. So if I go ahead and click services, you will see that the services link has come up, but since we haven't created these files, it is showing a file not found. Similarly, if I go here and click services, the same thing, right? So let's create these files a bit later. Let's move on with configuring the component. So now, so as you see here, the search functionality is available by default, but we have to do some configuration. So let's look at the search functionality now. So for search functionality, actually you just need to subscribe to the search click event, which I have highlighted here. Okay, and if you want to get the value of the search, what the user has typed into the search, just append the value to it. We'll save it. Yeah, so let's go to search and type in something. Yeah, here we are seeing that whatever the user has typed in, it is seen. So the search function is working. We'll also check once on the mobile view. I'll just refresh it first. Yeah, just check it. Yeah, right. So search is out of the way now. Let us move ahead. So now let us pay some attention to the footer. So let us configure some social media links, right? So social media links also is essentially an unordered list. It doesn't have a sub menu like thing. It's only a single tier list. It doesn't have any nested elements inside it. So, or I would say, to be more accurate, it doesn't have any nested lists inside it. So I'll just save it. Refresh. So now you'll see that you don't need the inspector now. The links are appearing here. I'll also refresh the mobile view, right? And the links are appearing here as expected. Okay, so now let's get started with the notifications section. I'll go back to my notes and copy the code. I'll paste it just below the social media section. So here notification section has three parts. First is the unread notifications part, second is the read notifications part, and the third one is the notifications list part, which essentially is the view all button, which after click takes the user to the page where all the notifications have been displayed, right? So now I'll save it and we go back and refresh. Yes, we no longer need this inspector. Yeah, so here, as you can see now, this notification icon has a badge. This is because there are some unread notifications here. Had this slot been empty, or essentially had this unordered list not been there, that badge wouldn't have been there. So I'll just click it, and here you will see the notification section. Notice this view all button, right? And this is the one which we configured at last. So first three notifications are the unread notifications, so they are sort of seen highlighted, and these notifications which are seen a bit muted are the ones that are already in red. So again, if I can click on any notification, but again that file is not there, right? So why don't we go back and create that file so that we'll see how parameters are also passed, because the notifications, every notification has an ID, right? So parameter passing is involved there. We can see that. Yeah, so I've created the notification page. I go back to the home page, I click on the drop down and I click on the second notification, and yes, this notification page has opened up. And as you can see, this particular argument /2 is also now passed here, right? So this is essentially routing at work, where the parameters from the browser address bar are taken and they are fed to the notification page. So we can click on different notifications to see how it's working, right? And this view all, if I click, yeah, it takes us to a new notifications page which we haven't yet created, so we'll create that later. Okay, so let's move ahead. Yeah, so let's go to the copyright notice section. I'll just add it in, save it, I'll refresh. Yeah, So yeah, so this copyright is now seen properly below. Actually, we forgot to check the notifications on the mobile view, right? So let's do that quickly. Yeah, the badge is seen. I click on it, notifications drop down. I can click on any one. Yeah, the page will load. Also, if I go below, the copyright notice has also loaded properly. Okay, now let's get back to the call to action button, right? So every nav bar, especially on the header, we usually have a call to action button. So let's get that in. We call it the login sign in button. Yeah. Let's come back. Let's refresh. Yeah. So as you can see, this button is seen. If I click on it, it will take us to the sign-in page, which is not there because we haven't yet created it. That is fine. On the mobile view also, I'll just refresh it once, and yeah, this button is now showing. If I click on it, it will take us to the sign-in page. So call to action is also now done, and then we come to the profile section, where this section is essentially required when the user is a signed in user, right? Yeah. So profile section also has two parts. First part is the profile picture of the user, and which functions as the drop down toggle, and second is the profile menu, right? This menu is like completely different from the main menu. So we have two provisions for menus. So the idea is this menu will be shown only when the user logs in, right? So this is, or probably, so this is the menu which is behind the login bar. Yeah, so I'll just save it. Let's go back. I'll refresh. Yep. Now you'll see that the profile picture is now showing with a toggle button. If I click it, the menu is shown. This is also a menu and sub menu, sort of two-tier architecture, and I can sort of click on anything. Since no pages have been created, it will still show could not find. That is fine. Okay. Also, the point to note here is the profile menu is also an ordered list with one level of nesting. So you can list one more list as a submenu in the parent profile menu list. Okay, so now the basic functionality is in, right? So this is basically the core of the functionality. Now let's change the colors a bit, to make it a little bit nicer, I would say. So let's go back. So now copy this. I'll just copy this part, and I'll come back and I'll paste it in the style section. So here, these are the custom CSS properties that I have provided, that the SfNav component provides, which essentially allows us to style the component, right? So we can use any colors here. Basically, you can provide RGB values, HSV values, or hex values, whatever you are comfortable with. Okay, so I'll just save it and I'll refresh. Yeah, so now you will see that the menu is colored. I'll just change the icon as well, right? I'll just make it white, it'll look nicer. Yes, so I'll let the social media icons be black, not a problem. And now you will see that I have, after just changing these colors, the entire look and feel has changed. Yeah, so the menu, everything changes according to the colors, right? Even the drop down, the notifications. Yeah. If we go to the mobile view, that also changes. Go to the menu, we'll go to the notifications drop down and the profile drop down. Okay, so essentially that was it.
Okay, so in this video I have shown you how to implement a single page architecture web application using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if you have liked this video, do not forget to hit the like button if you have found it useful. If you want to recommend it to somebody, please go ahead and share this video with your friends or colleagues and co-workers. Also, do subscribe to my channel to stay in touch with the latest updates and tips and ideas on front-end web development. Thank you.